Hey, how's everyone doing today? This is Josh Noel with PremiumBeat, and in this After Effects video, we're going to create a website presentation. So this tutorial is going to show you how to piece together a full screenshotted presentation and how to animate it with callout titles. Now, if you're looking to save time, go ahead and check out Header from rocketstock.com, which has over 24 slides of website presentation. You can go ahead and drag and drop your website into the template and be able to render it out within a couple of seconds with also these amazing callout titles. So let's go ahead and learn how we can do some of this right here inside of After Effects in our tutorial. So let's go ahead and create a new composition by clicking on New Composition, and we can call it Tut. Let's make it 1920 by 1080. And let's click OK. We want to be able to capture the screenshots of the website. So here we see our website, PremiumBeat, and what we want to do is basically go through each slide on our browser here and screenshot it. So I already have all these screenshots, and you're going to have to break it up into several different screenshots if you're going to do it this way. Of course, you could record one video of you scrolling, but that might not be consistent. So this is why we're going to go with screenshots, because we can piece this all together inside of After Effects. So you see we have all these different pieces of our website just screen captured. And now all we have to do is put this together inside of After Effects so we can lay out a good presentation. So before we do that, let's go to Layer, New, Solid, and we call this one Background. And go to Effect, Generate Gradient Ramp, and this will give us a nice background before we really get started. Set the ramp shape to radial ramp, and we'll make the start of color completely white and the end of color kind of like a nice dark gray. So we'll have a nice little corporate presentation here, if you will, the background at least. And now what we want to do is go back to the project, and we want to create another composition, and this one will be called Website Layout. And what we want to do here is we want the width to be 1920, but we want the height. We want to increase the height to about 4,000 to 5,000 pixels, depending on the size of the website. We can readjust this a little bit later. So we have this really long composition just like this, and now we can bring in our first screenshot here, and all we have to do is bring it to the top. Now this is our first screenshot, and we don't want to see the header here, so we just want to make sure this is going above our composition by a little bit, and I'm at the header of the browser. And we also have to mask out the, if you capture your toolbar, just grab the rectangle tool and you can just mask that out and click on subtract, and that's pretty much all gone. And now we have our website in here. Now we also have the scroll bar. I don't want that in there, so what we can do is hit S on keyboard for scale, and we can scale this up by a little bit, so 103% depending on the size, and we can just readjust this as we see fit. So now we can bring in our second screenshot, bring it underneath our original screenshot there, and we'll bring it back up here. And all we have to do here is just match the top with what we left off. So we come here, use the arrow up and down keys, and let's also make sure to rescale this back up to the right size, and now we can just match this up perfectly. Boom, and that's perfectly matched up, basically a seamless cut. And once again, all we have to do here is to grab the rectangle tool and cut off the bottom, and we can subtract it, and we'll continue the last one, and then I'll just move on here. So boom, bring it in there and match it up correctly. Okay, and there's that, and now we can finish off the entire thing here, which I'll go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, so I pieced out the rest of our website just like this, and if you have any extra down here, it's no big deal, but if you have to resize this at all, say if you need to add extra room, what you can do is go up to Composition and click on Composition Settings, and you can always adjust the height and reposition as you need fit. I'm going to bring this down by a little bit, and we can always just readjust all of our layers by selecting them, all of them, and just resizing them or repositioning them to where they need to be. And boom, that's good enough. So this is fine. We'll leave that down. We'll leave some transparency down there, but when we're done, we can go back into our main composition here, and we can grab our comp and bring it into here. Now here's the thing, if we hit P on our keyboard for position, we can bring this down and we can animate this as if it's scrolling now. So that's pretty cool, right? So let's come here to back to the top, and we can add a keyframe for position, and we can move forward in time to, say, 10 seconds. And we can animate this all the way down to the bottom of our website, which we'll do to about here. And now we have this full scrolling animation of our website, perfectly screenshotted and stitched together, and that looks great. And we'll go ahead and pre-compose this one more time. So we'll go up to Layer, Pre-Compose, and we'll call this one Website Scroll. And that's good. So now we'll take this and we can scale this down by a little bit if we need to. And if we need to, say, make this like larger, say we want to see more of the bottom here, what we can do is we go back into this composition. We can hit Control K on a PC or Command K on a Mac. We can expand the height of this composition. So maybe we'll go to like 2300. And we'll come here, we'll grab we'll go ahead and click on position, and we can just reposition this up here. Go back to our main comp, and now we have our updated scroll here. So now what we can do is maybe make this a 3D layer and animate this. So let's say we want to go to the X rotation and we want to push this back a little bit. You see we have that 3D capability. So maybe that's cool. So we'll do like maybe negative 18%. So let's say we have this animation for about 2 seconds. We can add a keyframe for X rotation. Also, maybe we'll do a Y rotation keyframe, and also scale and position. So hit Shift P, you'll bring up the position. So we add a keyframe for all of these properties here. And actually what we'll also do is maybe we'll go to the first keyframe here, or the first frame here, and we'll do like a scaling animation by a little bit. So that's nice. And now we'll come here to maybe 3.5 seconds. We'll set the X rotation to 0. We will bring down the scale by a touch so we can see our website. And maybe we'll go to the Y rotation and we'll put 1X in there. So now we have this animation going here, and maybe we'll go to the position and we'll bring this over to the right. So now we still have our animation in there, and it's going to continue to scroll. So now we have our website presentation going on here. So this is really cool. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of design to this. So with our animation done here, let's go ahead and pre-compose this, and we'll call it website final animation. Now we go to edit, duplicate, go to the bottom layer. We can scale this up. We can hit T on our keyboard for opacity, lower the opacity by a touch. We can do it again, duplicate it, go to the bottom layer. We can scale this up as well, lower that opacity. And now we'll have a quick duplicated website here, and that looks really cool. And we'll duplicate it one more time, go to the bottom layer, and we'll scale this up really big to fill up our entire composition. Go to Effect, Blur and Sharpen, and we'll add Gaussian blur. We'll increase the blurriness up to maybe 30. So now we'll have some background essence in here, if you will. And we can really scale this up to make it really big. So now we have our extra design, and let's say now we want to add some titles in here to actually present our website. We wanted to show off some information on our site. How can we do that? Well, so obviously we set ourselves up to put some text here on the left side, which is very easy. And we also have the opportunity to put titles inside of our scrolling animation. So what we can do is go all the way to the screenshots of our website, and we can design a card, right? So we can come over here and say we have this rectangle tool. Come in here, set the solid, click on the word fill and set this to solid color. Click on the word stroke and we'll set this to none. And let's say we want to have like a quick title right here. We can come here, draw a quick background here for our title. Hit T on our keyboard for opacity. Maybe we'll add a little bit of a stroke to this. So we'll go to solid color, and we can set this to a branding color, and we increase the stroke a little bit. So now we have an opportunity to put some information in this box. So we can go to the textile tool, set the color to white, and we can come here and type out some text. So maybe we'll have royalty. And now that we're done here, we can take both these layers and pre-compose it, and we can call it call out tab or something, and that's cool. And we can put this anywhere we want this to be. So we'll keep this right here and go back into our main composition, and you can see we have this sticking with our actual scroll of our website because it's inside of our composition before the scroll. So that's really interesting that we have that in here. And say we want to add, like I say, a title here on the left side. Well, there's a million ways that you can design a title. So let's go ahead and do something kind of simple, maybe like a quick call out line. So what we can do is grab the pen tool, make sure nothing's selected, and we can click a point there, hold down shift, and draw a straight point across like this. Let's go to click on the word fill and set this to none, and make sure there's a solid color for stroke. And boom, we have a stroke here. And now we have the opportunity to put some more titles in here. So maybe we'll do visit us. Maybe I'll set this color to complete black, and maybe we'll also do the same thing with our call out there. And we can animate the shape here, and we can open up the shape layer 1, go to the add button, and we can add a trim paths. We can open the trim paths 1. We can add a keyframe for end percentage. Of course, we want this to animate on about right after this all comes on. So right there at 5 seconds almost. We can add a keyframe for end percentage and set it down to 0%. Move forward. maybe 5 seconds, and we'll set it to 100%. We'll make both the keyframes easy ease keyframes by hitting F9 on our keyboard. And now we have this line animated, and we'll do something very simple for our text. We'll hit P on keyboard for position, and we'll add that keyframe, move forward in time, and we'll do an X position off here, and we'll make the last keyframe an easy ease keyframe by hitting F9 on our keyboard. So now we have this entire animation, and we're pretty much ready to go. You can add as many tiles you want. You can do some great design there, but we've been able to set up our website in a very cool way. Make sure to turn on motion blur for all your layers. You might need to go back into some of your other compositions and apply a motion blur to any animation that you have created, and you should have some nice motion blur that goes along with your project. And if you've been following along with this tutorial, you should have something very similar to this result right here, a very nice way to present your website and display information about what you're doing. And remember, if you're on the time crunch, go ahead and check out rocketstock.com. The links will be on our blog to find the templates that will help you save a lot of time and get your work done on a very high-end level. So I hope you were able to take away several techniques from this video that will help you set up your own website presentation. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. For more tutorials, please be sure to check out our blog at PremiumBeat.com. And if you're in the need for royalty-free music, we have a huge library full of great music for your projects. So if you have the time, I invite you to check us out on PremiumBeat.com. And once again, thank you for watching this video, and this has been Joshua Noel from PremiumBeat.com.